When you were going through your broadcast meetings with the Falcons, did you get a sense of a coach that was wondering if he was coaching his team for the last time, Mark?
No, I did not. I was really shocked. I was really shocked. And I told this story on the Stinkin Truth podcast. Like, I come into the building and I bump into the offensive line coach. And so we have about a 15-minute conversation. He's like, man, I can't tell you how much my guys respect you. We use your film with you and Tommy Nalen as a kind of, and the Broncos from the late 80s of this is how it's done in the wide zone. And so, like, we end up having this 10-minute conversation. Then I walk out to the practice field, and I was like, it was like a papal blessing. I was putting my helmet or my hand on top of offensive linemen's helmets, like, go and sin no more. And I was sending them on their way, right? Because I was like this folk hero, because they show so much of that film from the '98 Broncos in their meeting rooms. And then, it was one of those things, hey, would you come and consult in the end of the season or in the off season and do this stuff? And like the respect that people had for Raheem Morris in that building, from his players and the way that the energy they played with, I thought for sure he's coming back. To me, there's a process in learning how to win. And I had said this, Rich, during the broadcast. I was like, you can learn more from the desert about water than you can from the ocean. And you've got to learn how to win, and you've got to learn how to execute when execution is required, right? You've got to be at your best and learn how to be at your best when your best is required. And that's a process that you go through. And I thought they were on point of growing within that process, and they ended up winning 4 straight games at the end of the season. And then, the whole staff gets fired. So I literally on the airplane, just before I got on the airplane, leaving Sunday night from Atlanta to the time I landed in Denver, I not only got hired, but I essentially got fired within a 2.5-hour plane ride. So, like,
there goes your consultancy out the door.
Yeah, right out the door.
Goes.
Like, I'm one of the only people that can get hired and fired without ever actually doing the job. But it's just like, it's amazing.
Oh, my God. But, when looking in retrospect as to what Arthur Blank did, Mark, it looks like when they were 5-9 or right around then, he made a decision to organizationally shift the whole damn thing. All of it,
Yeah.
It's not like he kept everything in place except for the GM and the coach. He reorganized his entire world. And then I guess it didn't matter how many games in a row they were going to win. But wins do show what a team can do. And that's what kind of surprised me, because normally, take a look at the Panthers. They finished strong last year. They are the ones who the Falcons wind up sending to the playoffs as opposed to themselves, which has got to hurt Arthur Blank as well. And next year you can take a look at the Falcons with their new coach and maybe point to these last 4 games as that's the moment. That's where everything turned. The Lions, the few years ago, we can go on and on and on about that sort of storyline,
Yeah, there's no question. I'm 100% with you. I think Arthur Blank made a decision. And honestly, as I was studying the film and kind of looking forward to this game and looking at the Atlanta Falcons, I was like, man, this is, and I'm the official broadcaster of the NFC South anyhow. I've done more NFC South games than anybody on the planet. And I'm like, this is by far the most talented team in the NFC South. And so to sit there and finish in a 3-way tie, but to be eliminated in early December, I understand the disappointment. And then the other thing is the news of Matt Ryan going to be a part of that organization, the grand poobah of all things football, whatever it is he's going to do. You want to start with a clean slate. You don't want to have, hey, we're hiring you to reorganize and restructure what we do as an organization, but, you've got to retain this coaching staff. So they get rid of the GM, they get rid of the head coach, and the coaching staff in general. And which is, I think, if you're going to do it, it's the right way to do it, to restructure an organization.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.